It's all good. We're going to talk about it anyway.
Oh, fuck. All right. I don't have the new intro. Fuck.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's all good. All good.
You guys are never gonna want to miss where Dom is right now. Because he's not fucking here, baby. Dom's in the cave, according to Tiggy, because Tiggy doesn't know what the Cape is. Tiggy has no idea what Cape Cod is, so he thinks Dom is in a cave. Anyway, get yourselves ready. We're about to go live for episode 349 of Not Another Gaming Podcast, the greatest gaming podcast on the internet. Nay, the greatest podcast on the internet. Strap yourselves in. We're about to launch off for episode 349 of Not Another Gaming Podcast.
You are now listening to the #1 gaming podcast on these internet streets. And now, Not Another Gaming Podcast with your boys, Papa Dom, Dr. Bob, and Chris P.
Oh, I know on Twitter.
What is going on, everybody? We are here. We are live with episode 349 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. Dom is in the cave right now because Tiggy thought the Cape was a cave. Tiggy, come on.
What could I do? I mean, you know, what do I know about Cape or caves? You know, do I happen to own multiple Orleans Firebird hats? Possibly. That could be a fact, you know. Who would know other than someone that's been to the Cape or the cave?
Or the cave. One or the other. The Cape and or a cave. But Dom is not here today, so Tiggy, again, Tiggy's taken the record and he's just stretching it out as far as he could. Absolutely just wants to make sure nobody else ever comes close. What is this, 5? 5 in a row?
5.
5-time, baby. Just fucking... Dr. Disrespect is quaking in his boots right now. But guess what? There's a lot of people quaking in their boots right now in the gaming scene, and we're going to get into that because we're going to be talking about XQC getting absolutely fucking roasted by H3 Podcast. Sentinels are, if they could afford boots, they'd be quaking in them as well, but they can't. Call of Duty, guess what, everybody? You're not... Put your seatbelts on. Sit down, because you're not going to believe it. But Modern Warfare 3 is coming out. Oh my god, who didn't see that coming? And the rest of the gaming landscape is quaking in their boots right now because Baldur's Gate 3 and Remnant 2 are still absolutely dominating the Steam charts. Before we get into any of that, why don't we do a little weekend recap? Dom, input the sound right here. This is the point where you input that sound. Tiggy, how was your weekend?
I tell you, Doctor, my weekend was pretty good. I got a little golfing. I'm sure you can. I'm sure we're gonna talk about it at some point. Might as well, you know, tee off. Am I right? Oh. So,
shit.
Yeah, played a little 18, and of course wasn't familiar with it. I try to. Me and you we're both very tall, strong individuals, you know. So obviously we like to drive whenever we can. Now there was a dogleg left, and I was like, you know, I could cut into 3 neighborhoods and try to reach the green if I'm feeling real frisky. But I was like, I think I'm just gonna hit an iron out there and then hit an iron to the green.
Safe play.
And I literally hit 2 perfect irons. 200 yards that way, 100 yards, middle of the green, 10-foot putt for birdie, boom.
You hit it?
I felt like a good golfer.
Oh, wow.
Maybe the first time ever. So JT stepping aside for the Ryder Cup, and I'm hopping in.
Wow, dude. I fucking, on a par 4 at the place I played last night, I got it on the green I was right on the fringe on 2. I fucking drove maybe 250, 265. Beautiful, just gliding right over the hills. Got one nice bounce at the bottom. Took out the 8, fucking put it right on the fringe, chipped it maybe this far away from birdie. Got it
Center
in.
home.
Got it in. Actually, I didn't get it in for par. I got fucking, I got a bogey on that. I fucking whiffed it. I absolutely
rim?
fucked it up.
You rim out?
Yeah, I fucked it
Oh.
up. Because nobody got par yesterday, now that I remember it. That was the only opportunity any of us had for par, and I fucked it up.
That's fair.
Nora,
That's
thank
great
you for
when
the
you
29
chip
months.
it though. That's great when you just chip it off the green though, and it's like boom, tap in. But I guess only if you end up making the next putt. But,
Yeah, a real golf guy would have hit that for sure. Tiggy, unofficial third host. I mean, at this point, fucking, if we had shares, if we were publicly traded, Tiggy would have to have some at this point.
I tell you, I'm buying them. I'm buying 5%, and I'll see you at the stockholders meeting.
Yeah. Well, look, once we hit Wall Street, I'll let you know. Okay.
I tell you, I'm not sure if we can do any worse than FaZe right now.
I mean, I don't think we can do any worse than Sentinels either, but we'll get to that. The whole $150 I made off of the TikTok ad that I did, we're getting there. We're almost there.
Come on now.
You do anything else this week? Did you play anything?
I played just playing league right now, grinding. I've come to a formula where I only play one ranked game per night,
Okay.
and the past 4 nights I've won. I'm 4-0.
Yep. See,
It's
I
working.
would do play until I lose.
Yeah.
And then I would get, like, if I went on a win streak and then I lost, I'd be like, I could win one back. And then I would just fuck up the rest of my night. But I've been doing a similar thing with TFT where it's just play until I bot 4. And recently I've been bot 4ing every single fucking game. So I deranked like 3 I went from, Diamond 1, 88 LP, 1 win away from getting into Masters, to like Diamond 2, 0 LP. And every time I get there, it's the same. The 3 seasons I was pushing for Masters was always the same. I was 1 fucking top 3 away, and then I would just plummet 3 fucking ranks, and I just don't, it just breaks me, and I don't want to fucking play it anymore. But I golfed this weekend. I golfed last night. I'm going to be golfing on Saturday. I'm a fucking golf guy. My wedges just came in today. Picked those up. Can't wait. Oh, man. What else? I've been playing some TFT. Not a lot. I've been playing some Remnant 2. Game is still fucking immaculate. I've beaten the game. Gonna play through it a second time. We've just been playing adventure mode, just picking up a bunch of the loot and the gear that we missed. But I'll probably play through like the harder difficulty, and then I might step away from that game for a little bit because there's just too many games right now. The Tarkov wipe just happened today, so a bunch of people have re-downloaded it. Everyone's playing it again. I might dip my toes back in. I might wait a week or two and just catch up on my own. But Tarkov is like you want to start at the same spot as everybody else because everybody's doing the same thing at the same time. So it's hard to catch up.
Yeah.
I beat Devil May Cry 1 on my Steam Deck. I want to play through my sequencing OCD says I need to play video games in order. So I started Devil May Cry 2. But everything I've read says Devil May Cry 2 is the worst game in the franchise, and it's not worth playing at all, and to just straight up skip it and then play Devil May Cry 3. So I might do that just so I can start playing Baldur's Gate 3 on my Steam Deck. But I don't know. Well, we're going to see. We're going to test the waters. I've been too fucking busy to play too many games anyway.
I mean, when you golf every day, I mean, it's tough.
True. When you're out in the fucking course and you're right between them links like I am all the time, it's tough.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Well, that sounds like an incredible weekend.
Yeah, and you know what's great? You get to the fucking 9th hole, you get to the bend, you go fucking grab a link right out of the clubhouse because they're just always being roasted all day. But you know who's always being roasted all day?
Who was that?
XQC is getting roasted day in and day out because why? Because he steals content, he contributes absolutely nothing to the content that he steals. And he decided, I don't know if he has some form of management. I don't know if he decided this or if his management decided that this was a good idea. But he was going to go on Ethan and Ela Klein's H3H3 podcast, who have notoriously been through, I think, 4 full-blown legal court cases when it comes to content stealing and free use. And they almost essentially, like, they almost single-handedly created the formula for free use on YouTube because of their history of court cases with this shit. So they have a very rich understanding of the subject. So XQC thought it was a good idea to go on the H3H3 podcast and debate them as to why what he was doing was considered transformative content and it was safe under free use and not literally content stealing. And oh my God, was it some of the most it was like a bully beat. Did you ever see the show Bully Beatdown on MTV?
No.
Oh, okay. So it was just like they would get amateur UFC fighters who would just bought like MMA fight bullies who wanted to try to win money, and then they would just get their asses kicked by the MMA fighters. H3H3 podcast was the MMA fighter of Bully Beatdown in this circumstance because they just made him look. I know it's hard to make XQC look dumber than he already makes himself look, but they made it like abundantly clear that everything he was doing was not okay. It was not safe under free use, and that he was outright stealing content from other content creators. And then, like a child, he like made a big scene out of it and then started DMing Ethan Klein afterwards individually saying like, I have your house on my wrist, sending him pictures of his watch and shit.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's fucking wild shit to watch.
If anyone, you know, as an unofficial PR publicist, if anyone needs some representation, it's XQC.
Yeah. Also, this was not something we were going to talk about, but Kai Cenat has started a riot in New York last week.
Although that wasn't his intention.
Right.
He's definitely getting some of the heat and some of the blame. And yeah, it was. We didn't talk about that at all last week.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
He started he didn't start a riot. He had the good intention of going out, having a meet and greet, and giving away shit, which turned into a fucking riot. When it comes to these like younger, massively influential content creators that have millions of followers, and in all reality, the average viewership is like in the teens age-wise for these content creators, there needs to be somebody more grounded above them helping them make the correct decisions, because XQC is not making the correct decisions. Kai Cenat, although with good intentions, is not making the correct decisions. XQC is I'm going to step back on what I said previously. I don't think what he was doing was to try to benefit anybody else. From the way it sounded, he was just being an asshole, and he's trying to milk people for their own shit.
Yeah. I've seen Kai Cenat, I've seen a little bit of XQC, and you know, they're not my favorite creators. I don't even like, half the time they're not even gaming and they're just like yelling about something.
Right.
But yeah, the fact that I think the biggest issue I saw that Kai, I could be wrong, but it looked like he was trying to take like no ownership of what happened. And not saying he started anything, but from what he tried to do, the result ended being this.
Yeah. If someone were to take blame for it, it needs to be his management agency. That's it.
Yeah.
Like if you're his management and you say, yeah, this is a great idea, you should be fired, and he needs somebody else. Like, again, I don't think he did this intentionally. I didn't think he woke up that morning and was like, I'm going to fucking burn down an entire block of New York City. No. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. Yeah. So, yeah, again, maybe I could be speaking out of terms, but it's like in this online realm where there are literally gods and goddesses, you know, in terms of like how popular these people are. And then when they try to go to the real world, and I don't think they understand that, you know, yeah, that number says 40,000 there. 40,000 people legit might show up on this block.
That's exactly what there were. Tens of thousands of people out in New York
Yeah.
that guy's on it, which is insane.
Yeah. I mean, crazy. I don't know if he has. I'm sure he has a management team, but again, they all might be like friends and stuff. It
Right.
might be like entourage. You know what I mean? Of like
Yeah.
no one with any real experience in this realm. So
I feel like that should just be common sense, though. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Look, they're young. They haven't experienced life that, the life that other people have experienced. They don't understand that this is like, you're in a power of influence. You're in a seat, of influence. You are in a power position that, you could do real good with the level of influence that they have out there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That doesn't always come to the forefront. And, maybe it takes a couple of years for them to learn the hard way, understand what kind of power that they have. And then, they put that to good use. A lot of content creators we see now put that forward. They put that to good use. Dr. Lupo, a prime example of that, like puts all of his influence and power into good, like the greater good. There's a lot of great content creators like that. But what I think we're seeing a new generation of young, hyper influential, don't have the life experiences yet, so they don't quite understand the repercussions of what their actions are actually bringing about. But hopefully they get to that point at some point in the near future, and hopefully they have a management team that helps them get there. But right now, XQC has none of that. It's just going to be him. Like, God, I hope he has somebody. I hope he has a team of professionals doing his taxes for him. Otherwise, he is fucked.
yeah. Him. I know there was a recent newest like top Twitch sub getter. He's some R6 player, like Rainbow Six player.
Jinxie?
I saw. Yeah. I think so. Yeah. And he's like, I think he has like 100,000 subscribers this month on Twitch.
Might be Jinxie.
But he seems like a younger kid. I know that I Show Speed and stuff is always like in the news and stuff, and
Yeah.
he seems like a much younger kid. So it's like these young creators, like you said, they need to find like either a good management team or some mentors in the space that can help guide them towards to be,
Look, I've been
more
in
the
this,
better life.
I've been here for 7 years, guys.
Yeah.
I'm old as shit now.
Yeah.
I haven't started any riots that I know of.
Nice.
But yeah, I would suggest no free plugs, but that episode is like, you don't even have to watch the whole fucking episode. You just need to watch XQC flounder for like, I think it's like 15 minutes. And it's actually kind of hard to watch.
Yeah. Well, speaking of people floundering in the gaming esports realm, what
Tell me.
about the Sentinels?
Yeah, what about him, Tiggy? Tell me.
What about the Sentinels? The Sentinels, made some big headway in, I believe, first starting off by signing young Fortnite world champion Booga many years ago.
Yeah.
They ended up,
I think that
they
was
have
a big
Valorant team.
first signing, yeah.
Yeah, I think they have a Valorant team. I think CS:GO too. I know they signed Shroud at some point, correct?
I don't think they had a Counter-Strike team. I think there were rumors that they wanted to get into Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
What's up, What's up, Clint? They signed Shroud to fill in for a tournament for them
Okay.
as a temporary fifth, but I don't think he's like actually on the roster.
So not him. They have other. I think they've been in like Rocket League. They are big and they have a huge, massive Halo and very popular Halo team. I know Lethal is on it, who from the old CLG days, Optic days, then moved to like Ghost Gaming. Like that team has just moved around everywhere. They've now split up. Half of them's on FaZe. Lethal now, I believe, is on Sentinels, and I think they got top 3 at the latest event in Salt Lake City and stuff. So they have so many. I mean, they're a full up org, and a lot of people like have high regards because they've never had any sort of bad publicity in any sense. I remember a couple months ago they did some crowdfunding kind of opportunity where you're able to like buy into the company in a sense and get stock and shares, and you could get like
You remember?
I don't know, like
you remember who tried to do that as well?
no
FaZe.
FaZe.
Went public. Their stock plummeted. They gave away NFTs.
Yeah. I think the NFTs were before, but still,
Whatever.
leading up to bad decisions. So again, I don't think this was like Sentinels. I don't think Sentinels are like traded publicly, but the fact that they were like offering some shares to the public in a sense of like buying into it, I think is a cool opportunity. Definitely a sign of like, why do you need the public's money? definitely some questions could have been asked there. But if it was just like, hey, we want our fans to have an opportunity to buy part of the brand, it's like, that's cool. But now, months later, it comes out.
Or it kind of, hold on. It sounds like higher ups in the company are trying to off-ship some of their fucking shares ahead of whatever is happening right now. Please go on.
Yeah.
Nefarious. Sounds nefarious.
Sounds nefarious. Someone Google that for us. Now, it sounds like, I believe the report, I'll try to pull it up real quick, but I believe the report was like that they are losing, I want to say it was like, what was it? I'm pulling it right up here. So they're spending nearly $700,000 a month on player and content creator salaries.
Jesus.
And so $700,000 a month on these salaries. Just salaries for content and esports professionals. And if they don't successfully crowdfund, right now they're only able to operate for 2 to 3 more months. And if they get the crowdfunding they need, it's only going to be an additional 4 months on top of that.
Okay. So this is just hard mismanagement of an organization.
Absolutely.
That's all it is. It's hard mismanagement. Yeah, you can't be signing contracts that big if you don't have the funds for it. Especially like we've talked about 1,000 fucking times, the esports bubble, the organization bubble. You can't be shelling out for teams that cost that much. I'm trying to think of what some of the highest salaries in Counter-Strike are. I know Kenny S got bought out for like $2 million at one point to play for 1 year on Team Falcons, which I think was Saudi backed. But he was the highest paid Counter-Strike player at the time, and then his contract got bought out because he was on G2 at the time. m0NESY got bought out by G2 G2 bought out m0NESY's contract from Natus Vincere for I think $700,000, and his salary is pretty fucking high up there. But dude, it's the difference is these are organizations that make it to the top fucking 4 in every tournament for the most part. And they're building teams to win championships.
Yep.
There's money in Counter-Strike to be made, especially in S-tier championships, especially in majors. I don't know what that prize pool is for like Rocket League, Valorant, Halo. If it's not there, what is the purpose of making these like $150,000, $200,000 salary signs?
And on top of that, usually what happens with most prize pools, like in terms of like Call of Duty, Halo, like console esports, most likely the prize money majorly goes to the players, and the org might recoup like 10% of it.
Yeah.
Or a very small percent, because like the players are the ones that earn it. But in a sense, a lot of people love to ask the question, why don't they give them a more modest salary, one that they can live on, and fully give their life to this org to build up and stuff. And winning a tournament or getting a high placing is the player's bonus. Like that is their incentive for more money.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to me. It drives your players to want to perform at their peak. So they, you want your fucking bonus, you compete for it. I'm pretty sure that's how like old school Counter-Strike was for the longest time. Like 10 years ago, your professional Counter-Strike players weren't getting paid a livable wage. Like they were not getting paid minimum wage at that point. Yeah. You go, you win a tournament, you leave with $22,000 in your pocket. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's your salary for the year, basically. I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it, but that is just prime mismanagement, not just at an organization, like an organizational level, but just at like the micro team player by player level. That salaries like that are fucking, that's too much.
I'm pretty sure I saw other reports coming out of like a lot of like the Chiefs, like CEO, CFO, stuff like that. There was like 4 people combined salary was like $1 million as well per year and stuff. And it's like, just crazy inflated for sitting in those positions, especially, again, esports is big and going to continue growing to some degree, but we're not even close to there yet. This is, still on a very small scale on where we need to be for those salaries to make any sort of sense. There was something too that came out for like the sponsorship manager or something like that, or sponsorship partner, or whoever like gets the sponsorships. That individual was getting like $300,000, and like,
dude, your return on your ROI for whatever you're getting paid should be 2.5 to 3 times whatever you're getting paid.
Absolutely,
like that's what it is.
And so, I don't know. I don't have much more to talk about it. We can just keep going in circles, obviously. But a fun experiment would be, hey, Dr. Bob, me and you are going to run an org.
Okay.
How about we get $1 million a year? $1 million a year with some of these big orgs. That's being very on the low end. It seems like $1 million a year. How would we spend our funds to build something that could possibly be break even profitable?
For one, has to be Counter-Strike.
Okay.
Have to start base level, has to be Counter-Strike. You need to pick up, I'm going to say 3 burdening talents in North America, and then ship over 2 veteran players from Europe to lead the team.
How much are we going to pay them?
I mean, I don't know what salaries are right now. I don't know what like an average North American salary is right now. I would assume, excuse me, Dom, edit that out. I would assume $45,000-$50,000 a year for like a North American player. Maybe like 60-65 for the Europeans because you're relocating at that point.
Yeah. We'll get a coach, maybe $300,000 for the team.
Yeah, well, you'd say about that. But then you're going to need a facility.
Okay.
Has to be relatively bare bones.
Yeah.
To rent it out. Equipment. We're not going to put in equipment because, we'll find sponsorships and shit.
In terms of that, why don't we make
You need to boot camp at some point, so you probably have to go to Europe for like 2 weeks to boot camp.
Yeah.
You're sending 10 people to Europe to boot camp. That's probably a couple thousand.
Yeah.
And then there's travel for tournaments. There's a lot of shit. You got to leave space for that shit.
Yeah. So I think that's a good start. We got the Counter-Strike team. I think what we should do is, I don't know about you, but I love, in the console esports, Optic Gaming is king when it comes to content and such, and that's how they've been able to be like, one of the leaders through this esports, past
videographer
seasons.
Videographer.
So I think we get some videographers. We do some content with the team. I used to literally wake up every day and I used to watch Hector Rodriguez's vlogs, and he'd be going into the Counter-Strike house, the Scuff house, and like getting all the content stuff. And it was just awesome to be along for those rides. So, we get some content people, we film, we do documentaries with that team and stuff like that. And we really get the fans involved. I think that would be good. So
start a day in the life of a brand new org.
Yep.
Turn it into a series. Day 1, wake up, everybody comes in, settles in, and then start immediately day 2. Just day 2, right off the rip. Everybody goes to their battle stations. Everybody's in fucking aim training for 2 hours. Get into a server. Fucking go over execs. Maybe run some fucking scrims later on that night. Hit the gym. Eat dinner. Go to bed.
Yep. I think we get if we're doing a whole day like that, I think we get two videographers.
Okay.
2 videographers. One does the morning, one does the afternoon. Maybe in the middle of the day, they'll both be there, get some dual shots and stuff. That'd be cool. What do you think we pay them? 50,000 each. 50,000 each. Maybe we can give them some incentive depending on like how many views the videos get and stuff.
Social media manager.
Yep. Get one of that. Another, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000. I mean, you could do it remote, so we can make it cheaper that way.
Yeah.
Do that. I mean, honestly, in terms of like, I hate to say it, but it's like, if you want it to be any bit profitable, you need so much more less people than are currently ever in
yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Yeah, you
It's
don't
like-
need to be sending a team of 25 people to go to to go to a tournament. Like when I see Counter-Strike teams go to these, S tier events, you see the 5 players on the team, you see the coach, you see their esports psychologist, and then some teams will have like 2 or 3 more people, like their CEO, the person who, like the GM of the team, shit like that. But then if they win, you pan back and there's actually like 20 fucking people from their team there. Like you're sending 20 people to an event like that. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's hotel, travel, everything.
Yeah.
And it's like you're going to need people that wear multiple hats. And that has to be either like the owners to some degree, if like me and you're running, it's like, hey, I'll take sponsorships and stuff like that. You want to work on working these contracts, it's like, hey, and it's like managers and stuff. It's like, hey, you'll go to this event, I'll go to this event. We'll make sure the team's covered. We'll make sure everything's covered. It's like, that's gonna be the only way we do it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be the only way somehow. It's like teams are really gonna need to, like, I hate to say it, like, if we think this is even close to the end of layoffs coming in esports, there's no chance we're even close to the end. So we got that. We got content coming. We could get another esport in there or something like that, or we can get some content creators in terms of where we can,
I think you start with one. I think you start with one
Yeah.
game first, and then you branch out from there. Start with Counter-Strike. If Counter-Strike works, dip your toes into Valorant. But again, it can't be a fucking major roster. It can't be something that's like fucking $500,000 to field a team. Rocket League. I'm not even going to say Call of Duty because there's so much fucking shit that goes on with Call of Duty.
No chance. No money. I mean, it's still franchise. You can't do it. No fucking
But
chance.
you know what's great about Call of Duty? We're getting a new one.
Oh, well, we are getting a new one, Bob. Funny you mentioned that. We are getting a new one, but
brand new one too, right? A brand new one.
a brand new game? Well, if you look at the title, it's going to look like a new game, but many reports are coming out that it's basically going to be a $70 expansion DLC to the current game.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Who could have predicted that?
Fucking anybody.
I mean, well, many people thought, because they announced last year that Modern Warfare 2, the 2022 version, is going to be a 2-year cycle of content. Oh, so I buy one game and I'm going to get 2 years of content out of it. That's awesome. They do the battle passes, so all the expansions are going to be free. Right?
Wow.
It turns out not. So $70 you're going to have to pay again in like November or October, whenever they do that. Oh, game coming out. So we're going to get that game again, $70, and it's basically just going to be a DLC, meaning that like all the guns you have now, you're not going to lose any progress. They're going to add, 2 new guns that are going to be broken at first, just so everyone can pay the $70 to get everyone in there. Then a month later, they're going to nerf all the guns. Woohoo! They're going to add new add new skins, add new shaders, and they're going to take all the features that you want away and add them back into the late season. Actually, they are changing a couple things.
Oh,
they're adding
please.
They're adding dead silence as a perk, which everyone's been asking for.
Okay, great.
And has been, a staple in the Call of Duty games since, what was it, 2007, Call of Duty 4, the original Modern Warfare. That's been a staple. What else? We have, that's coming out. The mini-map's coming out. The mini-map's back with
wow.
red dots.
Oh, sick. Oh, sick. What's up, Rylan? What's up, JB?
And that's what you're getting with $70.
I'm so excited. Can you tell how excited I am? Because
So excited.
I'm so excited.
So excited. We can see the smile. I can see the glisten in your eye right there, Dr. Bob.
Dude, I look, as long as people continue to pay for this bullshit, you're going to keep getting this bullshit. You're just feeding the beast. You are feeding the machine. Okay? That's it.
Yep.
It's going to be like this every single year. It doesn't matter what they tell you. It doesn't matter what they say. You're going to get the same regurgitated content every single year. They're going to do the same thing every single year because you fucking sheep, keep paying for it.
Bah.
So, it is what
You know
it
what
is.
You know what this is, Dr. Bob?
Get the fuck out of here.
This is the line. And somebody's got to fucking hold it.
Get the fuck out of here.
And right now, you're holding it.
I just...
But, oh, man.
So it's is it Modern Warfare 3? They're just remastering Modern Warfare 3?
They're not even remastering the old Modern Warfare 3. It's literally just going to be like, I guess, just an updated version of this game with, you're going to keep the same weapons. All the progress is going to transfer over, which people want. Like, people want it for Warzone,
Right.
from like the one Modern Warfare to the other. You know, they were mad when they had to rebuy everything, which I think's fine. And they're just adding like all the features that everyone wanted at the start of last game. But again, people thought they were getting 2 years of content out of this one game. So why are you putting a $70 price tag on a game that should have these features anyway, and that just people just want, you know?
You know, this is my surprise face. That's my surprise. And any audio listeners, I'm not surprised at all. So it's.
I'm glad you made that clarification. Yeah, Warzone 3.0 going to be bug free. Shout out Lundo. Yeah, maybe Ricochet, the anti-cheat, will actually work to a degree.
Sure.
I'm doubting. Yeah, sure, that anti-cheat's going to work. And, you know, yeah, the hackers will definitely be out. And everyone's going to be happy, you know, so don't worry. They're going to put Nuketown in this one, so
guess what?
Don't worry.
You know what the only logical next step is? To remaster Black Ops 1 again, then Black Ops 2 again, then Black Ops 3 again. And then we're going to come full circle again to people saying Infinite Warfare was good when it released, and they're going to remaster that too. We're due for it. They cannot make original content anymore.
I wouldn't even hate it if they actually remastered it, but they're just putting the name on it. It's no Modern Warfare 3. Yeah. It's Modern Warfare 3 of the 2019 version, which is nothing similar to any of the other original Modern Warfare. So it's like, if I'm ever going to play a Call of Duty game, if I'm ever going to play another Call of Duty game again, hands up, it will only be the originals when they come to Game Pass, and it'll be on my Xbox Series S, where the cheaters aren't.
Yeah, you tell them.
That's where it'll be.
You fucking tell them.
That's where it'll be. On console with the controllers where the real gamers lie.
Yeah. Yep, because people who play with mouse and keyboard, they're all cheaters. Every one of us.
They're all cheaters.
We're all cheaters. I heard you refunded Remnant.
I did. Another hand up. Last night, I did issue a refund request for Remnant 2. Not again. The only thing bad about the game is it's just not for me.
Right. That's fine.
It's just not for me.
It's not for everybody.
Yeah, I just need like a game like that. I'm gonna need like a crew that like wants to ride with me and like take me along the journey. Mm-hmm. And I refunded it, but I'm gonna use those funds to purchase Baldur's Gate 3.
Fair. Hey, I can't argue with that. I can't argue with that. Two of the greatest games to come out this year. Baldur's Gate 3, arguably one of the greatest RPGs to come out in the past 10 years at this point. Both of which are just fucking, they have the Steam charts. Like, Baldur's Gate 3 has one hand around the neck, and then Remnant 2 has the other hand around the neck, and they're just fucking choking out the Steam charts right now. It's something beautiful to see, actually. 2 AA studios coming in hot with fucking beautiful games that has the AAA studios absolutely in fucking fear for their lives right now. Studios are coming out saying, listen, we get it. Baldur's Gate 3, it's the exception, okay? Nobody could make a game that good, let alone us with 50 times the budget that they have. Nobody could make a game that good. So, I don't know. I've been saying this for the past few years. The indie scene and the AA scene is what is keeping gaming alive right now. The AAA scene is just not, they're not keeping up. They've become too complacent, i.e., for example, Call of Duty. Like, it is what it is. We're stuck in this fucking cycle until the consumers decide we're done. But that's never going to happen with Call of Duty, so.
Don't worry. In a herd of sheep, one wolf will rise.
Yep. Is that you?
Could be both of us.
Well, I don't buy Call of Duty anymore, so it's not me.
Yeah. Well, I'm done. Hey, hand up. The only ones I'm paying for would be Game Pass on the old ones. That's what I'm gonna.
The last one I bought was Was it Cold War?
Cold War wasn't that bad.
That was the one with the zombies, right? With zombies.
Yeah, it had zombies in it.
I got Cold War because I was trying to world first the zombies modes.
I remember that. Yeah. I remember you guys talking about it on the pod. Yeah. They need to do zombies back. In all the old games, like zombies have full lobbies. You can match make the zombies and stuff. I forgot you could do that. And my buddy at the squadron and stuff was saying, he was like, "Oh yeah, we were playing Darius last night," and he said him and his buddy were the only two with mics, and the other two guys weren't talking. But
dude, look, if they went back and they did a full compilation like of zombie maps, I would buy that. I would buy that outright. Just straight up.
They did that with Black Ops 3, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, with Black Ops 3, and that was really cool.
But it wasn't every map. It was a handful of maps.
Yeah, what they should have done, and I know everyone has always said this, and I'm not going to be the first. I'm not going to be the world's first to say this, but they should have branched off and just created a Call of Duty Zombies title
100%.
and just updated it and just had like, I don't know, $10 every new map or something like that.
100%.
Just the zombies, and you have that whole catalog. It would have been awesome. But,
or just fucking make it how it used to be made, where zombies had a legitimate emphasis in the development process, instead of it being like a fucking tertiary thing behind multiplayer, Warzone, and then zombies. Like, go back to the fucking OG days where it was multiplayer and zombies. Like, they were hand in hand with one another. We're just never going to get that again. But if we do ever get that again, I will happily purchase the game.
Absolutely.
Because that's all I want. Yeah. All I want is zombies. I just want to play zombies again. That's it.
Give us the zombies.
We're never going to get it, though. I do want to try... Killing Floor is supposed to be a good alternative to it. Which, I've gotten a million emails for Killing Floor 2 in the past 5 years since that game's been out. If they ever release a Killing Floor 3, maybe I will get a couple of codes for it and play that, because that's supposed to be a similar, like akin to Call of Duty Zombies. But yeah, dude,
looks pretty cool.
Baldur's Gate 3, Remnant 2, absolutely killing it. I have beaten Remnant 2 on the easiest difficulty. I've played maybe 4 adventure modes on the individual planets to go get a bunch of side items that we didn't get in the original role of the campaign. I will probably play one more campaign on the harder difficulty, and then I might be done with it after that. There's just too many games out right now. Like, Tarkov is calling for me again. Once I finally beat the Devil May Cry games on my Steam Deck, I'm going to be all over Baldur's Gate 3. My backlog is too extensive to be inputting too much time into a single game, which I do inevitably, because I always do. I've done it with Tarkov in the last wipe. I put 450 hours into Tarkov last wipe. I put maybe like 100 hours into Hunt Showdown after Tarkov. What else? I've been watching Moon play a lot of old school RuneScape, and man, I am just the itch is coming back, Tiggy.
So you want to start a group Iron Man right now? I'm calling off work next week.
I can't take off work next week.
Okay, well, I mean, give me the word, and I'll get some Cold War for us.
But okay? I do have to put in the rest of my earn time by the end of September, or it gets transferred over into sick leave, and I'm not taking sick leave. So, I mean, I might have like 2 weeks that I could take at the end of September.
Yeah, before September ends. Remember, like the song.
Yeah, wake me up.
Yeah,
when September ends.
Wake me up inside. Oh.
That one, that one too.
Yeah. Anyways, Baldur's Gate, incredible. Old school RuneScape, crushing it per usual. Did you see the Baldur's Gate patch notes? The only patch notes they had.
No.
It was. They posted the gameplay patch notes, and it was.
It just says nothing. The game is perfect. Enjoy.
Basically, they were talking about some male extremity sizes can no longer clip through some certain clothing. And some gnome sorcerers are no longer missing their undies. So those were the 2 match notes.
I mean, look, if they have to, sure, fine.
Yeah, those are the two flaws, if you want to call them flaws, I guess.
Gameplay mechanics. That's what they are.
But I just thought that was funny.
Tig, you got anything
man.
else, or should we land the train?
I got one more thing.
Sure, hit me.
I wanted to bring it up last week. Post Malone. Avid gamer, plays Call of Duty in the past, but he's also a big Magic the Gathering fan. And he's such a big fan that he actually got his own card. I think it was a couple of years ago. He got his own Magic the Gathering card. And somehow he's the only one with this card, and they allowed him to play it in a tournament, which seems a little unfair.
Yeah, it does seem a little unfair. How broken is the card?
Yeah, I'm not sure. But the only reason how I found about that is Magic the Gathering did a Lord of the Rings kind of collaboration in which they made their first ever one-of-one card. Now, in the sports realm, they make number cards all the time. Pokemon never done it. Magic the Gathering finally does it, and they make it with the one-of-one Ring of Power.
Okay.
Now, so with that, they were only in these one boxes. It was in like the language. I don't know if it was like is Elvish.
Elvish.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was with that, and it was real sick, really cool holographic. And so because of that, it was like a chase for the ring. So the boxes were super inflated. I think they were supposed to be like $100. They ended up being like 400 plus to buy these boxes because everyone wanted a chance to find this ring. People were putting out bounties for like millions of dollars because literally it's only one of these are going to be made. So it's literally the one card you want to have for Magic the Gathering. And a gentleman, I don't know his name, ended up pulling it from a hobby shop in Canada and was shaken so much. He got it graded by PSA, which with the 101, I guess you don't really need to get it graded, but it got a 9. And a couple weeks later, Post Malone successfully bought the card for $2.6 million.
Okay, that's like his fucking lunch money. Who cares?
Yeah, he just had to turn one show into a 2-nighter, and it was good,
yeah, exactly. He played 2 extra encore songs, and he was fucking. He had it covered.
Yeah,
that is fucking crazy, though. That's. Yeah, that's kind of like how Logan Paul walks around with his PSA rated 10 Charizard around his neck. That's not a 1-of-1. That's like a 1-of-7. That's like a legitimate 1-of-1.
Yeah, 1-of-1, and it's like if you think about it, he sets his own price. He's never gonna let it go for less than that price. You know what I mean? So like, it's only gonna go up. Now, are you familiar with the Lord of the Rings, like history?
Yeah.
You an avid fan, so a lot of people were making jokes of like, but in the movies, there wasn't just one, there was another.
Yeah. Okay.
And so everyone is like, what if there is a second card that they release that says 2-of-1?
I know. There's no way. They can't. I mean, maybe. They could come out in like 2 months and be like, did anyone find it yet? And then just like do a live stream and just say, so, did anyone find the other Ring of Power? And then just end the stream. And then send the whole fucking Magic the Gathering world into a frenzy again.
Yeah, I don't know. They're probably not going to do it, but a lot of people were kind of like, everyone on Reddit, making theories that are much better than reality. And just imagine how awesome that would be if they did that. That'd be really.
He would buy the other one too. Like, he would just buy the other one.
Yeah. Or like one person buys it, they're gonna pay like. Now Post Malone setting that price is like he's getting no matter what. So people are gonna buy that initial card
for 2.7
knowing
minimum,
knowing Post Malone's gonna come back with a higher offer.
Yeah. True.
But I just think it's cool. It's cool, but it also might set a bad precedent. They might do this later down the road because why not? It's going to drive more prices. I'm sure Magic the Gathering boxes of like sets like that where they do collaborations with like that and like other shows and stuff have never sold that quickly.
Probably not. Yeah. Yeah. I can't even think of like Pokemon packages that have done anything like that because like you said, they don't do 1-of-1s. But yeah, that's pretty fucking sick. I would, Magic is one of those things that I've always thought about getting into, but I don't have the personal restraint because once I get into something, I'm fully into it. As you can see with my golf clubs, it is what it like. I'm here now. This is just who I am now. I am the golf man, and this has been episode 349 of Not Another Golf Podcast. But yeah, let's land the train. Shout out to Post Malone and his 1-of-1 card and the lunch that he paid to get it. Congrats. What do you got, Tiggy?
Oh, man. There we go. Just want to shout out you and Dom. Let me come back on 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's always a pleasure. I want to shout out Juicebox Podcast from where I come from. This weekend, I'm heading somewhat East Coast. Going to go to a wedding out in PA, so going to be nice. Literally going there, wedding, flying right back. But it'll be a good time. I got to see my family and stuff like that, so that's
Nice.
always good. So excited for that. No golf. Maybe Monday. A little extended
Maybe.
weekend.
You know,
So we'll see.
get a quick 9 in. Wait, is it a long weekend? Oh, for you.
Just for me, because I took
Okay.
Monday off.
I was gonna say, fuck. I could really use a long weekend again.
Yeah.
Fuck. Shout out to you, Tiki. Thank you for coming on again. That you already know that the door is always open for you at this point. There is just an empty third seat for you at this point. Shout out to you. Shout out to Post Malone and his cool card. Shout out to XQC. You what an idiot.
Shout out everyone in the chat tonight.
Shout out all of you. Shout out to everybody listening. This has been episode 349 of Down to the Gaming Podcast. Thank you all for listening to the greatest gaming podcast on these internet streets. You could catch us on all podcast platforms. You can catch us on all social media platforms at Wicked Good Gaming, except for Twitter. It's at Wicked Good Games. Check out all of our TikTok content. The recent TikTok that I posted actually popped off overnight. That felt pretty good. Hopefully we get some more ads coming in so I can pay rent. Please, for the love of God, I need to pay rent.
I mean, we got a whole organization to support now.
True, yeah, we need at least $1 million of revenue at this point. You can check out the written content at wickedgaming.com. You can check out us at twitch.tv/wickedgaming, youtube.com/wickedgaming, kick.com/wickedgaming. I don't think we're streaming on there anymore, but, maybe we'll get it back together. And yeah, we will catch everybody next week for episode 350. Whoa, 350 of Not Another Gaming Podcast. We will see you then. Smooches.
Fight!